teams, I think, like Dallas and Miami that people think are pretty good. I think they're potential infernos. I think the team that could fall apart fast, like 3 weeks in, 4 weeks in, is the New York Giants. So Russell Wilson, talking with Sports Illustrated, says Carmelo Anthony gave him advice on being a great New York athlete.
It's funny because me and Carmelo were talking about this. He's like, man, this is the perfect place for you to reestablish who Russell Wilson really is.
Right.
By not just how you play on the field, but what you do in the community and different things you're able to impact the people, you know, it doesn't get any bigger than New York City.
So I think the Giants, I mean, you've got a coach in the hot seat. You've got a rookie quarterback who's probably not ready to play, but if you go on a 2-game losing streak, the fans and the talk radio and the papers in New York are going to demand it. You have a general manager who I'm not quite sure knows what he's doing, and the division with Jaden Daniels now is serious. So, and if you look at their schedule the first 9 weeks, there's nothing in the NFL close to it. It's got 1-8 written all over it. It is brutal. Jaden Daniels, Dak, Mahomes, Justin Herbert, Jalen Hurts, Bo Nix, Jalen Hurts again, Brock Purdy in the Niners, Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, Green Bay, Detroit. Their first 9 weeks are brutal. So, and the Bears, I mean, let's be honest, teams don't spontaneously combust. You can see the train wrecks coming. You can see the infernos coming. So I think my 3 teams that people, I think the Giants, the Dolphins, and the Dallas Cowboys could get ugly fast. And I can't explain Russell Wilson. I have never seen a quarterback almost bizarrely go from highly elusive, very good, to wow, we've got to get rid of this contract.
Okay. I just don't think that's entirely fair of Russ. And that wasn't necessarily even his situation in Denver. Sean Payton obviously didn't want him. They wanted to move on from him, but let's not act like... And yeah, he was paid an exorbitant amount of money, but like, you know. And then in Pittsburgh, that offense looked completely different when Russ was leading it compared to Justin Fields. And it had a lot of pop, and it had a lot of energy. And then with their refusal to adapt and change and evolve, as well as injuries taking hold and personality issues on that team, you know, there wasn't anything else they could do. But when you watch even that playoff game against the Baltimore Ravens, I don't watch that game and say if they had a better quarterback, they win. I don't look at that game and say that Russell Wilson was the problem. He wasn't the solution, but he wasn't the problem. There's times that you're watching games and you're like, oh, this quarterback is not good enough. Or in a playoff game when you're like, this quarterback is just not good enough to compete in a playoff game. That wasn't necessarily the story with Russ. Listen, it's obviously going to be a tough schedule. You're talking about going up against playoff team, Super Bowl contender, playoff team, Super Bowl winner, playoff team, Super Bowl winner, normally a playoff team but got injured. And I'm talking about in terms of last year. I'm not saying, you know, like that's what exactly it'll be this year, but based off of last year. You know, Packers playoff team, Lions playoff team, and like real playoff teams, right? Like teams that you were like, these teams got some fight in them. Not like bottom of the barrel. Like, yeah, they're a playoff team because like we need playoff teams. Like these were legitimate teams. And so, yeah, I mean, it's certainly not easy. Just by virtue of having the Eagles and the Commanders in the division right now, who are obviously, you know, two great teams, that's a disadvantage. If you're a Giants fan, you know, if you're the New York Giants, it's not ideal by any stretch of the imagination to now have to play the reigning Super Bowl champions twice and the Commanders, who were in the NFC Championship game, twice. That's 4 games that by definition will not be easy. That alone is just like, whew. And then now even the teams that are normally bad or have been struggling for years, the Patriots, the Raiders, they're no longer easy. They're not easy wins now. With Geno Smith, Chip Kelly, and Pete Carroll, team's going to be different. Vrabel, Drake May, the Patriots are going to be different. So it's definitely tough. It's definitely tough. I think the way you get through it and the way you pull off wins is you don't try to make Russell Wilson something that he's not. You try to take advantage of him being a seasoned veteran. And you just run an offense, especially with Brian Daboll, that is just really built on a foundation of just like, we have one of the most experienced quarterbacks in the NFL right now, and that is what we have to rely on. It's not his physicality, it's not his arm strength, it's not his speed. It's just the fact that he, at this point in the NFL, should have seen anything that a defense can throw at him. And we are just going to rely on him more, ahead more than anything, to just run a high IQ offense, to make great decisions and great reads and execute the offense at a high level consistently. We're not going to try to do anything above and beyond, anything too fancy, anything too crazy. We're not going to constantly put the ball in his hands again and again and again. We're just relying on him to be able to say, I've seen this so many times throughout my career. I know what decision I need to make, and I'm going to make the right decision 99% of the time. That is how, from my viewpoint, you get through it. On the back of also like a great physical, aggressive defense. I don't think you look at this and you're like, we got to revamp this completely. We got to be imaginative. We got to be aggressive. We got to be this, like in terms of in offense. It's like, no, like let's just rely on Russ being more experienced than Jaden Daniels, more experienced than whoever the heck is going to be the quarterback for the Saints, more experienced than Bo Nix and the Denver Broncos, more experienced than Brock Purdy, Caleb Williams, Jordan Love. Like, I mean, relative to those quarterbacks, Russell Wilson has been around for a long time. Super Bowl winner. Okay, like that does mean something in the NFL. Going up against Minnesota Vikings and JJ McCarthy. It'll be his, 15th, 16th game. Like, rely on Russell Wilson's experience. And rely on the fact that you will be going up against some of these younger quarterbacks, and so have your defense take advantage of the younger quarterbacks. That's what good defenses do, is that they make things difficult for these younger quarterbacks. So it's like, make things difficult for the younger quarterbacks, and make things easier for your experienced quarterback who's running your offense. And if you are 1-8 or 1-9, like Colin is saying, well, then it's just like, all right, well, then you'll be getting a number 1, number 2 overall pick next year. And then it's like, there's nothing to be sad about that. And it'll be pretty great for you, because it'll be really interesting, because it's such a quarterback heavy draft. And you either now make the decision that you want to draft a better quarterback. Maybe you do. I know you already drafted a quarterback, but maybe someone's really there where you're like, doesn't matter. We got to get this guy right now. And you do that. That still ends up being a win. And you can still now trade Jackson Dart or whatever, who will still like have value. And if not, and you want a position player, it's hard to know exactly who'll be available. You're in a position where you can even then trade back, because so many people are going to want quarterbacks that if you now trade, you'll be able to like trade back, and you'll get more bang for your buck, because people will be getting quarterbacks. You'll still be able to get the main position player that you want and more. It ends up kind of like benefiting you in a way. So like, I don't know. If anything, the worst case scenario is like you do win like 8 or 9 games or something. But it's not even that bad, honestly, because even if you're now not like top 10 or something in the draft, like since it's a quarterback heavy draft and so many people need quarterbacks, you'll still be able to get a top position player, non-quarterback. So it'll still be, even if you're kind of in this middle ground and you just don't have the best draft, order next season, as long as you reach the conclusion that you don't need a quarterback and you're happy with who you drafted last year, this past draft, then it should just be in a pretty good situation. Then the question would remain like, are you firing Brian Daboll? Who are you hiring? Are you going to try to get like a Cliff Kingsbury from the Commanders? Are you going to try to get the Brady from the offensive coordinator for the Buffalo Bills? Like, it's just like, what type of decision are you looking to make? Are you going to take a Dallas Cowboys route and just hire a random 50-year-old who's never had a head coaching gig in the NFL before. You know, you decide. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Russell Wilson revamping this Giants offense? And do you agree with Colin that this team can just go up in flames rather quickly? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. So whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.